Now I wanted to ask you a little bit about Loud Records. Like you said, they just had the performance recently. Like Loud was like a heavily
Powerhouse.
star-studded label. Like, did you like? Cause back then people was in the studios and working together. Did you really see all of these people, coming in and out of Loud Records?
Powerhouse, man. You gotta look at it like some of our first opportunities is Loud Records. Like that's our first opportunity. Like, but by the time we started to get, once my cousin got the internship there, we started to put together these beat tapes. We used to call them bash music. So Loud always had a listening room. Like that's where everybody kind of congregated. They would smoke there, whatever. Listening room. All the artists would come through, and they would always either play the new music that was coming out, or that's where producers would come through, pay their music. So we used to create our music, and then people used to come to the office. So that may either be Ray, Pun. They would come to the office, and that's when my cousin would play, what we was working on. So on one particular one, Pun heard something that he liked. Right, so he heard something that's what we call the now capital punishment. He heard the record, heard the beat, and was like, "Yo, I need that." He kept telling me that we needed it. Kept telling me that he needed that. So, Fat Joe set up the session. They used to work out of a studio in Staten Island called Mystic, and then I used to have to take the ferry and go all the way over there. We tried to lay the beat down a few times, and then some of the times it didn't work out because of the floppy disk got corrupted. It was just so much weird thing. We kind of laid that beat for Pun almost 3 different times before it actually came through. But the whole Loud Records thing was, to answer your question, but the whole Loud Record thing was like surreal because you don't know who you would see. I'll go there one day, I might see Prodigy, P Rock. You don't know who you're gonna see, And then as we started to produce more after we did the Pun stuff, that's when Raekwon started to kind of started to call us and was like, "Yo, I wanted to work on that second album, the Immobilarity album." And at that point, that's when he took us on the road, and I went to Atlanta. First time I came to Atlanta was with Raekwon. First time I went to the West Coast, I was with Raekwon. Spent times out with them months at a time when he had the American Cream Team going. We was out there building the records. And then based off of the Immobilarity album, we actually wound up getting a production deal with Loud Records. So we became in-house producers with Loud Records at the time after that. So we actually wound up getting our producer deal from that album. It was like it happened in a weird kind of way. It was like we had the listening session for Immobilarity, and Steve and Rich, they loved the album the way it was constructed at the time. They took us into the bathroom of the Hit Factory and said, "Hey, what you guys want?" They was like, "Yeah, we want a production deal." It's like, "I got it. Put it together." And that's how it happened. But yeah, it's Loud was that place, man. MOP, 3-6 Mafia. It was just that was our Def Jam on one side, and we was on Loud, and it was just crazy at those times.
Right. Loud was deep, man. One of my favorite labels for sure. A lot of people